Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Downey. I'm an attorney at Downey Law Group. I'm counsel for Kim Gardner in the quo warranto action, and I have a very brief statement to make. I will not be taking questions. The Attorney General's action in bringing this quo warranto proceeding against Ms. Gardner runs contrary to Missouri law and also the American political process. Ms. Gardner was elected and re-elected to be Circuit Attorney of the City of St. Louis by large electoral margins, by almost 48% in the most recent election. According to the Attorney General's own numbers, Ms. Gardner and her office have prosecuted approximately 19,000 cases since she became Circuit Attorney in 2016, and the errors they point out are only in about 40 of those cases, or about 0.2% of those 19,000 cases. Nevertheless, the Attorney General seeks to remove Ms. Gardner against the popular will of the voters. A Missouri statute allows for the removal of prosecutors who engaged in intentional corrupt conduct. Ms. Gardner has not engaged in any such misconduct. Further, the Attorney General's amended petition does not even allege that Ms. Gardner engaged in such action. We therefore hope that after the hearings today, the court will dismiss the amended petition in all aspects to avoid further distraction for Ms. Gardner and her office. Further, if the court does not dismiss this case, we hope that the Attorney General recognizes that his actions are harming the operation of the Circuit Attorney's Office and the administration of justice within the city, and he will withdraw this suit voluntarily. The Circuit Attorney's Office is full of great, hardworking attorneys. The Attorney General's petition seeks to harm and interfere with the office, to magnify any errors the office may have made to become much larger issues. Mr. Bailey's intentions appear to be to harm Ms. Gardner and the city for his own political gain. Ms. Gardner cares deeply about the city of St. Louis. She is also proud of and supports her attorneys, investigators, and staff. Neither Ms. Gardner nor her colleagues deserve the criticisms directed at her by the Attorney General. Thank you very much.
Mr. Hudson?
My name is Redditt Hudson. I'm with the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office. As you heard established in court today, the Missouri Attorney General has both a bad legal theory and a bad factual theory. The factual theory is bad because the AG cited specific cases falsely alleging misconduct on the part of assistant circuit attorneys. The legal theory is bad because he asserts that the circuit attorney is strictly responsible for anything that her staff does. For example, if a ACA was to walk in and moon the jury, he says that the circuit attorney is responsible. It's laughable on his face. But because he constructed his argument that way, it's clear that the circuit attorney's rebuttal had to be responsive to those allegations. She hasn't thrown anybody under the bus. She still stands behind her staff and the entire office in the face of these unfounded attacks. The Attorney General's action not only has the effect of interrupting and disrupting operations in the circuit attorney's office, it has the intent of disrupting and interrupting operations at the office. Like me working to destroy the engine in your car and then telling you to drive it. Or complaining that the Circuit Attorney's Office is short-staffed and then working to drive staff away. It's cynical to pretend to care about public safety, to pretend to act in the name of public safety while deliberately damaging it and attempting to disenfranchise St. Louis voters. It was just a few weeks ago that two of these same guys from the Attorney General's office were here arguing effectively to keep an obviously innocent man in prison. Same two guys. Here's an AG whose colleagues have voted to have permitless carry for firearms and allow children as young as 12 to walk around with ARs, putting civilians and law enforcement at risk. That's not public safety oriented. At the end of the day, the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's priority is and always has been public safety. She looks forward to continuing that work and facing down spurious challenges to her ability to do it.